Hello, welcome to this Nellybyte video on Rclone. I'm Neil, or Nelly. I'm the lead systems engineer for UKI, Nordics and South Africa. We often get questions around, I've got data in AWS or somewhere else. How do I get that data to Wasabi? Well, we've got a product called Wasabi Cloud Sync Manager. So if you have, I believe the minimum is 50 terabytes. So if you have more than 50 terabytes and you want to transfer that data to Wasabi, then we have a full internal service that can do that for you. However, some of our smaller customers who just say, do you know what, we've only got a few terabytes, or I often get, do you know what, we've got data going into AWS and we want to take a copy to Wasabi. Or I've had it the other way around, hey, we're writing into Wasabi, but one of our other partners uses AWS and they would like a copy of our data. How do I get the data movement going between the two? So one of the products I like using is Rclone. So it's just a small install, and then once you've got it set up, you can just connect into two different cloud providers and you can just create a very basic copy script to move the data around. So that's what we're going to do today. We'll install Rclone, connect it into AWS, connect it into Wasabi, quick script, show the data moving across, maybe write something to create a log file in there just so you can see which files have been copied. And yeah, we'll get on with it. So as always, I'm going to lose my lovely face from the video so you don't have to keep looking at me. There we go, that one, and I'm gone. So okay. So the first thing that we need to do is come into rclone.org. Once you hit the landing page here, you can see some options. Basically, we need the download option. And then for this, I'm just going to use Windows. I'm still installing a Linux server, so I might kind of add on to this video afterwards and show the Linux version. But at the moment, we'll just do the Windows version. It's nice and easy. So I'm going to download the 64-bit version. In fact, I did download it earlier. So yeah, we're all ready to go. Where did I put it? So I downloaded it. I just created a folder called Scratch in the C drive. And in there, I dropped the Rclone files in. So just dump them, literally unzip them and put them in a directory for now. So next thing we want to look at once we've done that is AWS. So here we have our AWS instance. I've gone in and created a bucket called NS Rclone. So we can see this bucket has just some text files in it, just some easy to read files just to show this working. And in the actual user itself, I'm just using the root user, and I've basically just added on the admin policy to the root user, so it's got full access. Obviously, if we were doing this in production or anything like that, we would lock down the users so they either only had read-only rights on the source or write, the relevant write credentials on the target. For this, just using the root account, just created a bucket and stuck some data into the bucket. I've also created a set of secret and access keys for the AWS account. So next, let's have a look at the Wasabi account. Exactly the same. All I've done is created the root user, so I'm only using the root user for this. I've added the admin policy onto the root user so it can access everything. And also I've created a set of root account keys for the root user there. Bucket wise, I've created a bucket called NS Rclone 1. There's nothing in the bucket at the moment, so what we want to do with this demo or this video is just show data moving from AWS through Rclone and into this bucket here. So we'll go ahead now and open a command prompt. Don't think we need elevated rights for this, so it's just a normal command prompt. And we'll get back to the folder that I put the Rclone files in. So that was Scratch, and I think it was Rclone. There we go. So we've got our files in there, and now we're going to run the Rclone config. Okay, so it's going to say that no remotes have been found. Do I want to create a new one or set up some configuration passwords or quit. Well, I want to create a new remote, so we press N. And then name for the remote, I've already decided on some I'm going to use. So for the remote for AWS, I'll use Nelly_AWS. Now, it's going to ask me what I want to connect to now. You know, is it a service? Is it Zoho or something else? Well, if we come all the way up to the top here, we'll see that we've got S3 compliant storage. That includes AWS and also includes Wasabi. You'll see over here on the end. So I need number 4. So I'm going to press number 4. And now it's going to ask us, okay, you've chosen S3 compatible. Which service do you want? Well, we're going to connect to AWS first of all. I mean, Wasabi should be down here on the bottom. Yeah, obviously we're W, so we're near the end. But we want Amazon Web Services, which is number 1. So provider will be number 1. Okay, enter the AWS credentials in the next step. So, yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to go with 1, or I can just hit the enter key. But, yeah. So, first thing it wants is the access key from AWS. So, I shall come and just collect from over here somewhere my access key. Where did I leave those? Here we go. So I'll take my AWS access key and I will take my secret key. Oh, bear with me, that didn't want to copy. So I'll just copy that again. There we go. Now it wants the region, so I know that the bucket I created was in Ireland, so I'm going to go for EU West 1, so that's number 6. Now it lots of other questions seem to come up now, which I generally just leave fairly empty. Again, it's asked me for the region, so this was 6, EU West 1. Let's go for that again. Now again, like I said, there's lots of other questions it seems to want to ask, and I found that actually by just hitting enter, edit the advanced configuration, no, okay, I don't want that. Keep this Nelly AWS remote, yes, this is okay, and then I can quit the config of that one if I want to. Actually, no, I don't. I can now. So I've got my Nelly AWS config there. You can see it. So I'll create a new one for Wasabi. So this is going to be Nelly_Wasabi. And again, we need to pick. So remember, number 4 was S3 compliant storage. And then Wasabi was down on number 32. And then I will enter the credentials. So I need the access key and secret key now for my Wasabi account. So let's just go and paste that one in there. No point copying these, by the way. I will change these keys as soon as the video is recorded so that you lot don't steal all my text files or anything else. So yeah, that's fine. And then the region will be, this is in our London. So we've got EU West 1 here, which is 8. And then that's fine. And then again, enter for fine. Exit the advanced config. Edit the advanced config, sorry. No, we don't want to do that. Yes, this is okay. So we'll go for Y. Okay, now I've got my two remotes, so I'm happy with that, so I can go and quit this configuration now, so Q, and that will take me back to the command prompt. So now that we've got our 2 remotes set up, so AWS and Wasabi, let's go ahead and see if we can run a copy command to get the data back to from AWS to Wasabi. So we'll run rclone copy. Now we need the AWS remote, so that's Nelly_AWS, and then we're going to need a colon and then the bucket name, which, if I remember right, was NS Rclone. I think that was the, I can't spell, Rclone, NS Rclone. Okay, so that's the source. Then we need the target, which was, so we need the target remote, first of all, which is Nelly_Wasabi. And then a colon. And then we'll need the target bucket, which I think was NSRCLONE1. I'm just going to check those bucket names. So in AWS was NS Rclone, so NS Rclone, and then in Wasabi was NS Rclone1. So there we go, NS Rclone1. In fact, let's leave the Wasabi screen open so we can get a bit of a background there. So NS Rclone1. So I'm going to use the flag progress, so that will just show me what's happening. And I'm also going to use the flag update, which will only update newer files newer files that created in the source will then only update on the bucket, on the target, sorry. It won't try and update everything. So let's run that and see what happens. So there we go. So we ran the copy from AWS bucket to Wasabi bucket with the progress tab, so we could see what was going on, and update, so it only updates new files. So let's go back to Wasabi. We'll refresh. In fact, if I just go back to buckets and then go back into the bucket, so there we go. We can see that we've made a copy of those text files from AWS to Wasabi. Cool, so that was good. What we're going to do now is we'll run the same command again. I've just dropped a few more text files into the AWS bucket there using S3 browser. I just want to create a log file now. So we go log file equals, and then where do I want the log? tch/rclone. That was where we had the rclone executable, and then we'll just go for, I don't know, let's just call it copy. Copy log.txt. There we go. Oops. Okay. And we're just going to put the log level of info on here. Cool. So, that needs to be a capital, I think. I'm not sure. It definitely is in my document. So, we'll go for that. So, we'll run it again, see what happens. So, there we go. So, we had, it checked. There were 13 files there already, so it didn't need to do those. And then it's transferred an additional 7 files. So, now if we just open that location, so that was C, scratch, file rclone, and then we did a copy log, so we get a nice little that won't work, there we go, we get a nice little text document now telling us, yep, here we go, here are the new copies, the new files that were copied. So that's cool. Let's see if we can do a few more quickly just to see it append that that file. So I just need to grab quickly some additional files. Bear with me. Let's go here and here and here and here and here, and I'll just grab another couple of text files, sorry, and I'll drop them into S3 browser. Cool. So we'll run this again. Same thing. Yep, so now it's done another 7 files. So again, if I open that location, I'll just do it on the second screen for now. Scratch rclone, open my copy log, and yep, you can see that now we've got the additional files. So it didn't copy, it hasn't tried to overwrite the original files. It's just copied the new files and appended them, and appended that onto this nice text file. So we just get a nice little log to see what's going on. So that's really it. That's all I wanted to show you. Obviously, you can save this as a PowerShell script and then use scheduler to run it on a schedule, maybe once a day or something like that. You just want to run the script to check, are there any new files in AWS that I want to make a copy of in Wasabi. And of course, obviously these are remote, so you could just flip these two round. And it could be the other way. It could be I want to copy files from Wasabi to somewhere else. So I hope that was useful. It was just a very short video showing, how to install Rclone, how to connect it up to different remotes, and then how to just run a very quick copy command to move data from one provider to another and one bucket to another. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching.